Good afternoon. I am Isaac Lawrence Alionote. Welcome to S24 TV News for Monday, the 14th of October, 2019. Let's get you the stories making headlines. Burkina Faso mosque attack kills 15 worshippers. Nigerian's president suspends all international travel for government officials. Abiy Ahmed wins prestigious 2019 Nobel Peace Prize. Foreign embassies in Malawi denounce election violence. In sports, Eliud Kipchoge, Bridget Kosgei makes history, breaks world marathon record. The details after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to S24 TV News at midday. At least 15 people have been killed and 2 seriously injured in an attack on a mosque in northern Burkina Faso. Gunmen entered the Grand Mosque in the village of Samousi on Friday evening as those inside were praying. The attack prompted many locals to flee the village, which is close to the Malian border. Hundreds of people have been killed in the country over the past few years, mostly by jihadist groups. The UN Refugee Agency said more than 250,000 people in Burkina Faso have been forced to flee their homes over the past 3 months. Meanwhile, jihadist attacks have increased in Burkina Faso since 2015, forcing thousands of schools to close down. Last week, 20 people were killed in an attack on a gold mining site in the north. On Saturday, about 1,000 people protested in the capital, Ouagadougou, to denounce violence in their country and the presence of foreign military forces in the region. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has issued an order barring all members of the cabinet and heads of government agencies from traveling abroad. The president said in a statement released on Friday that the ministers and government agencies are required to lead the process of budget defense at the National Assembly and in order to ensure timely passage of the appropriation bill. The 2020 appropriation bill, tagged Budget of Sustaining Growth and Job Creation, was presented by President Muhammadu Buhari on 8th of October. Among other things, the 2020 budget proposes an increase in VAT rates from 5% to 7.5%. Shortly after the presentation of the budget, the Senate gave October 31st as a deadline for all government agencies to defend their budget estimates to enable the passage of the document in December. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was on Friday named winner of the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, recognized for his peacemaking efforts which ended 2 decades of hostility with longtime enemy Eritrea. Though Africa's youngest leader still faces big challenges, he has in under 2 years in power begun political and economic reforms that promise a better life for many in impoverished Ethiopia and restore ties with Eritrea that had been frozen since in 1998 to 2000 border war. The Nobel community said Abiy had won the prestigious prize for efforts to achieve peace and international cooperation, and in particular for its decisive initiative to resolve the border conflict with neighboring Eritrea. It said the prize was meant to recognize all the stakeholders working for peace and reconciliation in Ethiopia and in the East and Northeast African regions. Meanwhile, some African leaders including Muhammadu Buhari, Paul Kagame, Bobi Wine, African Union, and a few have sent heartwarming congratulating messages to him. Six foreign ambassadors stationed in Malawi on Friday condemned all forms of violence, while demonstrations against the re-election of President Peter Mutharika in May regularly turned into clashes. The ambassadors of the United Kingdom, Germany, Ireland, Japan, and Norway and the United States called on the government in a joint statement to investigate all criminal acts and accusations of misconduct by the security forces. It is particularly important that the various parties refrain from any use of violence or incitement to violence, the ambassador said. A police officer was stoned to death on Tuesday near the capital, Lilongwe, during clashes between police forces and opposition demonstrators who were trying to prevent a public meeting of the president. The opposition has filed a request for the annulment of the election with the courts, which is expected to rule shortly. His supporters are demanding the resignation of the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Jane Ansah, accused of covering up the fraud. Their demonstrations have regularly escalated into clashes with the police. And in sports, Kenya's Olympic champion Eliud Kipchoge on Saturday became the first man to run the marathon under 2 hours after clocking 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds during the Ineos Challenge at Prater Park in Vienna, Austria. Kipchoge, who is one of the greatest athletes of all time, assisted by 41 pacemakers, enters the Guinness Book of World Records for running the first sub-2 hour marathon, though his feat will not be recognized by the World Athletics governing body, IAAF, as the new world marathon record. Making history was my goal. I am a happy man. There are no human limits. Eliud Kipchoge is almost undefeated on his distance since 2013. This time, he said he wanted to run for history. He has definitely entered the books of history. Meanwhile, for the past 16 years, Kenya's female athlete Bridget Kosgei has broken the women's marathon world record with a time of 2 hours, 14 seconds and 4 seconds in the Chicago Marathon yesterday. Kosgei shaved 1 minute and 21 seconds of the world record with Paula Radcliffe at the London Marathon in 2003. Yet, Kosgei added that she is still working to improve on her world-beating performance, even suggesting a woman could even one day achieve a previously unthinkable 2 hour, 10-minute finish time. Kosgei's win came just a day after her compatriot Eliud Kipchoge became the first person to run a marathon in under 2 hours, making it a historic weekend for marathon running in the world, in Africa, and in Kenya. And that's the S24 TV news at midday. My name is Isaac Lawrence Alionote. Many thanks for watching.